fleet of them. Look on the ASA.
This is the story of when Top Gun pilots tangled with a UFO. During the height of the Cold War in 1947-1969, more than 12,000 reports of UFO sightings were made to Project Blue Book, a tiny top-secret Air Force team about mysterious lights, sinister saucers, and alien abductions. Their goal was to look into the incidents scientifically and see if any of them presented a threat to national security. We'll share with you some of their most intriguing cases, as well as more landmark UFO sightings. USS Nimitz, fighter pilots and radar operators recount their horrifying and as-yet unexplained encounters. It started as a standard exercise for Navy training. However, it would quickly rank among the most well-researched UFO encounters of the 21st century. Among the witnesses were extremely skilled military personnel. At the time of the sightings, several highly skilled radar operators and fighter pilots were in charge of what was possibly the most sophisticated aviation equipment yet developed. Yet none of them can justify what they observed. The scene was the Pacific Ocean, approximately 100 miles southwest of San Diego, California, on November 14, 2004. Before being deployed in the Persian Gulf, the nuclear-powered carrier USS Nimitz, Carrier Strike Group, which also featured the missile cruiser USS Princeton, was going through a series of maneuvers. Two Nimitz fighter planes abruptly received an odd directive to cease their training exercises and move to different coordinates for a real-world mission. More ominously, the officer asked if they were carrying live weapons. They said they weren't in response. By then, Princeton's ultra-modern radar had been picking up unexplained objects for several days. The military chose to refer to them as anomalous aerial vehicles, or AAVs, rather than unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, because the latter term had been tarnished by its association with flying saucers, little green men, and a host of fringe figures. The senior radar operator at Princeton at the time, Kevin Day, claimed that during the week, his screen displayed well over 100 AAVs. He claimed that they appeared at an altitude of over 80,000 feet, much higher than that of regular commercial or military aircraft. The Princeton radar crew initially dismissed the anomalies as the result of a malfunctioning piece of equipment and didn't think what they were seeing. However, Day addressed the commander of the Princeton about taking action once they discovered that everything was working as it should, and they started seeing instances in which the AAVs fell to lower, busier airspace with astonishing speed. One of the mysterious objects was deflected to be intercepted by two fighters. The pilots saw nothing in the sky when they first arrived on the site. However, they did spot what Commander David Fravor, the lead pilot, subsequently described as a disturbance in the ocean. White waves were crashing over what appeared to be a big object just beneath the surface of the swirling water. They saw one of the objects soaring roughly 50 feet above the ocean. With over 16 years of flying expertise and having graduated from the Top Gun program, Fravor, the leader of the elite Black Aces squadron, characterized it as roughly 40 feet long, shaped like a tic-tac candy, and lacking any evident propulsion. Even odder were its swift and erratic movements. Another Navy pilot who served as Fravor's wingman in the air that day gave an account very similar to Fravor's. Now a high-ranking Navy officer, she was a rookie pilot back in 2004. She remembered being terrified, watching as the more experienced pilot tried to intercept the strange craft. It was so unpredictable. High G, rapid velocity, rapid acceleration. So you're wondering, how can I possibly fight this? Fravor claims the thing rose and passed directly overhead as he flew around it. Day claimed that Navy planes started taking out from the ship as the tic-tac moved into the distance in an attempt to intercept the other enigmatic objects that the Princeton's radar was monitoring. One of the pilots who flew off after Fravor managed to locate the craft. Using a very sensitive infrared camera, he was able to record a video. The Nimitz event didn't gain widespread public recognition until 2017, even though it appears to have been known in naval circles and to some enthusiasts of UFOs and AAVs. The footage of the Tic Tac that the Nimitz pilot had taken that day was made public by the New York Times, along with a report about the sighting. The Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, or AATIP, is a little-known Defense Department effort that was also made known by the Times. Nearly $22 million of the department's overall budget was allocated to the shadowy enterprise, as the Times described it. According to rumors, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, who had a lifelong interest in UFOs, developed a pet project for it. Despite AATIP's formal closure in 2012, as reported by the government to the Times, many people think it's still in operation. A former senior U.S. intelligence official stated that the Nimitz incident was not unique. Over a dozen accidents have occurred off the East Coast, some of which date back to 2015. It also seems that the Navy, which seemed to have given the Nimitz incident little thought in 2004, is now giving it more thought. The Navy declared at the end of April 2019 that it was creating new policies for reporting any observations of unidentified aircraft. The goal of the project was to destigmatize these complaints so that military members would feel less embarrassed to come forward. According to a Navy spokesman, there have been several reports of unauthorized or unidentified aircraft entering various military-controlled ranges and designated airspace in recent years. Like anything related to UFOs, AAVs, and UAPs, some doubt the Nimitz incident. Some have speculated that the churning water was generated by a submarine and that the craft were sophisticated reconnaissance drones. It is difficult to refute, however, that the pilots, the radar operators, and the infrared camera had seen something, regardless of what the now famous Tic Tac was. What do you think happened? Was it some kind of an error? Or was it real? Tell us in the comments below. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video.